In this video, we'll go over Mekanism from the metallurgy confuser all the way up to tripling ores. So if you want to see that, here we go. Okay, so I would like to get to ore tripling this episode. And to start ore processing at all with this mod, you actually have to start with the alloys and stuff. So I have to make a metallurgy confuser. I'm also going to make these universal cables because they're going to be a little bit better than the wires I've been using from immersive engineering. So yeah, let's start with those two things first. So basic universal cables, they can transfer a certain amount of power, 1000 per cable, and they just connect like that. And then we have the metallurgy confuser. Basically, it lets you infuse certain items with other certain items. So you can infuse some items with coal, some items with biofuel, some with pulverized tin, or just tin, I guess. Some with diamonds, some with redstone, I guess some with fungi. Coal, redstone, diamond, and obsidian are kind of the most common ones you use. So those are going to be kind of the four I set up. Okay, so I set 4 of these up here. So basically this bottom one's going to be coal, because I use carbon probably the second most. Generally you use redstone the most, because you need to make a lot of these basic control circuits and a bunch of these enriched alloys. So redstone's going to be the most often, so that's why it's kind of at eye level. Diamond is kind of going to be the third most often. Oh, you can't put diamond in there. That's right. I'll show you how to use diamonds to do it. And then up here is going to be refined obsidian. We're going to require to get diamond to get the refined obsidian. So we'll get there when we get there. I can actually show you some infusing. So if we put iron in here, this will be kind of the fastest way to make steel. So it'll take 10 carbon for each action. So that's basically 1 coal per action. And if the game stops lagging, that makes enriched iron, which can be used again with carbon to make steel blend, which is kind of going to be the fastest way for us to make steel. And then if we look at redstone, the most common, like I said, is the enriched alloy and the control circuit. So the control circuit is the osmium in there, and the enriched alloy is going to be iron in there. Alright, so the next step on our journey to ore tripling is we have to make an enrichment chamber. So we're going to need a steel casing, and we're going to need 2 of these basic control circuits, and there's the enrichment chamber. So let's go look at that right now. Okay, so the enrichment chamber can do a couple things. First, it can basically process ores and make them double. So instead of getting 1 iron ingot out of this, we'll get 2 iron dust, which we can smelt, and then it's basically just like the crusher upstairs. But we'll soon get to ore tripling, so it'll be better. It can also enrich and compress coal, redstone, and refined obsidian dust to make them more efficient. So if you remember, if we put in 1 coal, it gave us 10 carbon, but now if we put in 1 compressed carbon, it gives us 80 carbon. So that's 8 crafts with this instead of the 1 that we get from 1 coal. And this works for diamond and redstone as well. And you can actually put the compressed diamond in here. You don't have to get a dust or anything to actually put it in there. So now we've got the enrichment chamber done. We're going to need an electrolytic separator, a purification chamber, and a crusher. And if you want to see all the way up to 5x right now, I actually do have a video on that. It's going to be up in the iCard in the top right. I go through basically every machine you need for all the way up to 5x. So if you wanted to have like a list, there's a list in the description of that video. Just go ahead and check that out and go ahead and watch the video, and it'll show you how to go all the way up to 5xing ores if you have enough resources for all the machines. Alright, so to make the electrolytic separator, we need the electrolytic core. We need to put that there, and then what is it? Oh, yeah, it's the alloys. So now we have the electrolytic separator. That basically separates water into hydrogen and oxygen, as well as heavy water into deuterium and oxygen, and brine into sodium and chlorine. But we're only going to focus on this one right now, because it's going to be the one that we actually need right now for the ore tripling. Now for the purification chamber, we actually need to make the advanced control circuits, which means I need 1 more of the basic, but just like that, simple. And I'll be back when I have the other resources. Alright, here you have the purification chamber, and the crusher is the last part of the ore tripling. Alright, so the electrolytic separator basically takes water, and then it makes, like I said, hydrogen and oxygen, it'll output the hydrogen to this left side from the front face, and it'll output the oxygen to this right side from the front face. So we'll go ahead and set it here. So it can pump the oxygen into whatever we put here, which will be the Purification Chamber, which we put the ore right here. This is where the oxygen goes, and then it turns it into three clumps, which then get pumped into the crusher, which takes those clumps and turns them into dirty dust, and then this purifies it and makes it just the normal dust, so basically triples the ore. Now we do need to set some things up, so we want to have auto eject on, input from the top is fine, output to the little right, and then this one we want to, instead of input from the top, input from the left, output to the right, auto eject on, and then this one we want to input from there, output, actually we can output from to the top. Alright, now let's go ahead and put water in here. Oh, not like that. That's not what I wanted. What I wanted to do is actually put the water in like that. There you go. Now it's making hydrogen, and the oxygen is automatically being pumped in here. And then if the hydrogen fills up, it'll stop running. So we go ahead and click this to dump excess. So it'll get up to a certain point, and then it will stop. It'll start dumping the hydrogen instead of making it the machine stop. Let me go grab a ore, and I'll show you how this works. Alright, so if I throw one copper ore in here, use up some of the oxygen, and it slowly goes up, and then once it gets there, it'll turn into three of the clumps, and then the crusher will slowly start crushing it down into a dirty dust, which will then need to be purified in the Enrichment Chamber. And once that's done, we can just smelt this, and we basically have triple ores. So that's pretty simple. It actually takes like very few machines to get to ore tripling in this mod. Once we get into ore quadrupling, it gets a lot more, because you need to have this whole multi-block here, and then a chemical infuser, which is fun, and then yeah, you got a whole other thing. So like I said, check that iCard for the video on the mechanism ore processing, and yeah, so I think there's like one more thing I got to do this episode. So I'm probably want more enrichment chambers, but I never actually showed how to get the refined obsidian. So you basically put the obsidian, just normal obsidian from Minecraft, in an enrichment chamber, and it will grind it down. You can also put this in a crusher, or all sorts of mods have all sorts of ways to get pulverized obsidian or obsidian dust. Then you put that obsidian into the metallurgical infuser with diamond, and it slowly goes up. And once it's done, you have refined obsidian dust. Now you can just put this straight into a metallurgical infuser, and it gives 10 obsidian. However, if you put it in an enrichment chamber, it works just like the diamonds and redstone and coal, and it makes it even more efficient. So I'm going to be doing that because it uses a little bit of diamond for that. So there you go, got 80 of that, and then that's a way to upgrade the alloys. So with the enriched alloy, you can upgrade it to the reinforced alloy with the diamond, and then you can upgrade that to the atomic alloy with the refined obsidian, and then you can use that in a bunch of recipes to upgrade your, like for instance, our current cables, the universal cables, do I think 1,000 RF a tick. These ones will do, what is that, 100 times as much. So, and then they can be, oh, I thought they could be upgraded one more time. Maybe not, but still, that's a lot. That's plenty for pretty much anything you'll use. So basically, this is used the least because it's only for tiering up stuff we've already tiered up from diamond. And so yeah, basically it's pretty simple. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button down below. Really supports the channel, helps this content get out to more people. Check out this video. It's going to be the mechanism ore processing video I've talked about a couple times. It's actually going to be helpful to get you all the way up to 5xing your ores, because I don't know when I'll do that in this series. Hit subscribe right here, and I'll see you next time.